Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to COD Zombies HQ. For the first time in a very long time, we finally have some new information about the long-rumored, long-sought-after Zombies Chronicles 2 expansion. And to be honest with you, for better or for worse, some of the leaked details surrounding the possible release of that expansion sometime next year is leaving me with an extreme sense of deja vu, that this situation has basically happened before, and you'll see why throughout this video. So some quick background on Zombies Chronicles 2 before we delve into the new info. In the middle of Black Ops 4's DLC season, leaks and rumors started to emerge from prominent leaking groups within the community that not only would Black Ops 4 have a second season's pass, but also Treyarch were planning on developing a whole bunch of new remastered maps, including the maps Transit, Die Rise, and Buried from Black Ops 2, that would be included as part of a Zombies Chronicles 2 expansion. And I would bet that those leaks would have came true, that there would have been a second season's pass and Zombies Chronicles 2 for Black Ops 4 if Activision didn't step in and essentially say to Treyarch, you guys have to take over development of the next Call of Duty, which turned out to be Cold War from Sledgehammer and Raven, because they just aren't getting it done. So with Treyarch now tasked to work on this game, Cold War, all those plans for future Black Ops 4 DLC were left in the dust, but not before Treyarch made actual significant progress on getting those maps already made and launched and remastered, ready for a potential Zombies Chronicles 2 launch. Well, now here in Black Ops Cold War, the conditions are very different from Black Ops 4, and we're starting to see more details about what happened to those Zombies Chronicles plans and made maps, and when they intend to actually release them into the game. We first heard about the resurgence of Zombies Chronicles 2 content from notorious leaker Tom Henderson a few months ago, who said about the maps that Treyarch still have the Chronicles 2 maps ready to go, but I'm not sure if those will release during Black Ops Cold War. Well, that was old news, and the new information from Tom Henderson comes in the form of an article he posted over on DualShockers that seeks to detail some more information about Chronicles 2 and when we can expect the actual expansion to release. Saying about the status of the project as it stands today, according to sources, Zombies Chronicles 2 has been in development for several years, which we know, and the majority of the maps have been completed. But while progress on the maps seems to be basically done, that they've all been ported to the Cold War engine and are nearly ready to release, the problem is with when to actually release the content, with Tom saying that the information about the maps being ready still stands today, with Treyarch and Activision not pulling the trigger, not releasing Zombies Chronicles 2, and this is important, until it's needed. Despite the community believing that Black Ops Cold War hasn't done well for Activision, that isn't the case. So Activision isn't going to release Chronicles 2 until they feel that it's needed. But what does that mean for its release? Well, thinking about the future of Call of Duty, especially within the next year, starts to become more clear. Tom continues by saying, although Activision was positive about the soon-to-be-announced Call of Duty Vanguard and its Warzone integration, it's clear that Activision has several cards up its sleeve to boost player numbers and revenue if they were to fall, especially amongst the competition of the new Battlefield game and Halo Infinite. Zombies Chronicles 2 is a huge asset for the publisher to have and the Call of Duty franchise, and unfortunately, I think it's going to take Call of Duty Vanguard in order to release it. Now, as I'm sure most of you are aware, the next COD is going to be called Call of Duty Vanguard. It's going to be set during WW2, developed by Sledgehammer, and it's kind of having some already mixed reactions amongst the Call of Duty community, both on the zombies and multiplayer side, before it's even announced. And while I'm personally excited about the mode and about the Vanguard Zombies mode, in all likelihood Vanguard won't do as well as COD 2019 Modern Warfare did, or as COD 2020 Black Ops Cold War did. So what does Activision do? Where do they turn to when their current game isn't doing so hot, that people aren't playing it and enjoying it and buying all those bundles like they want them to? Well, they turn to the Zombies mode, the franchise's fire extinguisher, to build back the player base and revenue that they lost from their underperforming current game. And it's because of that that Tom is projecting that Zombies Chronicles 2 is likely to release sometime in mid-2022. But hold on for a second. I said at the beginning of the video that this situation is giving me a bit of deja vu, like this has happened before. And it basically has, right? Think back to the original release of the Zombies Chronicle expansion for Black Ops 3 back in 2017. What was the current COD game in 2017 around the launch of that expansion? Well, it was Infinite Warfare. And as we know, Infinite Warfare was not received in the most positive way from the general Call of Duty and the gaming community. Activision needed a PR and revenue boost, so what did they do? They turned to the Zombies mode, releasing Zombies Chronicles on May 16th, 2017 of that year, bringing 8 new remastered maps into Black Ops 3, resulting in the highest grossing, the highest earning, the best selling DLC that the COD franchise has ever had, making Activision and Treyarch a boatload of money. Well, even before Vanguard has been announced, it seems like the exact same thing is happening here again. Treyarch's COD game is performing well in Black Ops Cold War. The next COD game, Vanguard, is likely to perform very poorly compared to the previous ones, and as a result, Zombies Fire Extinguisher activated, Zombies Chronicles 2 deployed to make up for the lackluster performance of the current game. And to be clear, in the case that Zombies Chronicles 2 does release midway through 2022, while it will be during COD Vanguard's first year of its DLC cycle, it's likely the expansion, like the original Chronicles before it, will release for the Treyarch game, and that it will release into Cold War rather than into the current game, Vanguard. But that hasn't been the only mention of Zombies Chronicles 2 that has been made recently amongst the leaking community, and it's always good when there's corroborating evidence where there's more than one source for this kind of information, and it seems like we've got that, where another notorious leaker called Zesty Codleaks over on Twitter posted up his conversation with a middleman to a very credible insider's source that confirms some more details about Zombies Chronicles 2, confirming once again that Zombies Chronicles 2 is in the works. But the first line there, that the Ural Mountains Warzone map was scrapped because Activision couldn't monetize it, doesn't really make that much sense, though I will say, behind the scenes, what I've been hearing about Zombies Chronicles 2 since the ending of Black Ops 4 was that while the maps were actually ready to release, one of the reasons that Zombies Chronicles 2 hasn't been seen and likely won't be seen until 2022 was because Activision couldn't find a way to monetize it properly. Now, I think that at the time that Activision wasn't sure whether to sell Zombies Chronicles 2 during the course of Black Ops 4 either as its own map pack or to include it as part of a potential second Black Ops pass. But that problem worked itself out when Treyarch was retasked to work on Cold War, and they stopped development of all future Black Ops 4 potential DLC releases. In Cold War, with all of the seasons being free up until this point, it seems to me that they still had a similar problem where all of the regular DLC content in Cold War has been released for free. Very likely that's similar to the first Zombies Chronicles, that it will be a paid expansion into the Cold War Zombies mode, releasing at least with the 3 maps which we know are very likely to be included with that expansion, with a remastered Transit, a remastered Die Rise, and a remastered Buried. Of course, Activision could decide to release those maps for free, similar to how they've done in the past here in Cold War, throughout the Year 2 seasons of Cold War Zombies, as other leaks have indicated that new content support for Cold War will continue throughout Year 2, so they could decide to release the remastered Chronicles maps then and do it piecemeal, one by one instead of a whole pack, release the Victus crew as buyable operator bundles in the game, and try to monetize the maps that way. But my personal bet would be on a paid expansion like the first one, since that one did so well. It's good to know that yes, all these Zombies Chronicles maps are ready to rock and are just waiting on Activision to pull the trigger on actually releasing it, but because of this, part of me feels like if Zombies is Activision's fire extinguisher, then give the mode even more support, man. They're gonna rely on the Zombies mode and its community to bring them back up when their current game isn't doing well, then at least give the full support to the developers of the Zombies mode of whatever game's out that year, to keep that Zombies mode healthy, alive, and content-filled, so that the mode can remain Call of Duty's fire extinguisher. For years, Zombies has always been talked about as the third game mode, behind campaign, behind multiplayer. Now I've heard people calling it the fourth game mode, with Warzone coming into the mix. So I'm really hoping that now that Zombies has kind of lost its biggest advocate, and despite what you think of him, Jason Blundell was Zombies' biggest advocate within the upper management over at Treyarch, and had sway way within Activision, it could take the success of the release of Zombies Chronicles 2 to cement the zombies mode as a staple within the future of COD for many years to come. But guys, that wraps up this video. If you did enjoy it, if you're excited for the possibility of a Zombies Chronicles 2, consider hitting the thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I'm personally really excited that this could actually come true after years and years of hoping it would. I think that a actually remastered Die Rise with Cold War's engine with the rappel line and no fall damage with stamina could be an absolutely awesome map, and I can't wait until hopefully it does release midway through 2022. But I want to thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you with another Zombies news video tomorrow. Peace.